Hello, and thank you for joining our webinar today. I'm Deborah McGrath, Senior Technical Product Marketing Manager with ServiceNow, and I'll be your host today. Joining us as presenters are Amel Shayab, Senior Principal Outbound Product Manager, and Andrew Fortin, Senior Solution Consultant, who are both with ServiceNow. Between them, Andrew and Amel have many years of experience with strategic portfolio management, including product management transformation. And over the next 20 or 25 minutes, they'll be sharing insights about key elements of successful product management transformation and demonstrate how ServiceNow enables you to better scale, build, and deliver to support your product-centric transformation. Okay, and then our safe harbor slide, Andrew, thank you. While most of the content included in this webinar are features that are currently available, we're sharing our safe harbor notice that this presentation may contain forward-looking statements that reflect the current beliefs of ServiceNow, and they're all based on current information available. Actual results may differ materially and should not be relied upon in making purchasing decisions. Amel and Andrew, welcome.
Thank you, Deborah.
Thank you, Deborah. So, hi everyone, I'm Andrew Fortin, a solution consultant focused on strategic portfolio management. And today we're going to talk about and even show how organizations can continuously deliver value by moving to a product-centric model with strategic portfolio management. I want to start this webinar off by showing a recent Gartner survey, which showed that the trend for managing application development and delivery of work of products is accelerating. Leaders are trying to make the change needed to anticipate the changes they will face. And I'm sure we've all seen that recently with the different changes in the world. From that survey, there were three key takeaways I want to highlight. The first one on the 25% of untapped ROI. The word meaningful sticks out to me here. Meaningful ROI. Why? Because what we deliver has to provide meaningful value to our customers. The best way to ensure this is by making digital products customers love. And now when we talk about strategic misalignment here, we often think of project management here. And when we think of project management, we're often envisioning that project triangle, the scope, the time, and the cost. And along with that goes that famous phrase, you can have two of three when ensuring value, right? Whether that's time and cost or scope, you can't have all three. It's no surprise to me to see the misalignment there. Why? Because as PMs, we focus on scope creep. Why would we do that? When there's scope creep, what that's telling me is the customer's needs have changed. And we're not focusing on that. We're focusing on deliver what they asked for 6 months ago. That's where that shift to product transformation can really allow our mindset to be focused on value. And when we see project centricity, 85% of respondents said that they have either adopted or plan to adopt the product-centric model. And that's to align to the misguided vision we've had before about the project world. To set today's demonstration up, we want to break down what is product managed transformation is. And when we see this on the left, project as well as services, how they're being delivered today. Projects and services are funded on a case-by-case basis, green-lighted by benefits projected in that business case. The projects are organized in the form of one or many temporary teams, pulling from a pool of resources, in which itself is an absolute crazy balancing act, right? Planning is front-loaded, and the value is delivered at the end. I'm sure we've all seen those statistics around the likelihood of a project to fail. But what if our priorities shift as a group, as a customer, or an organization? All that front-loaded work, all that time we spent on planning would be throwaway, and there would be no value delivered to the customer. When a company or organization moves to a product-centric model, they're changing the focus of everyone in the organization from a short-term, let's get this project done, to a value-driving focus. There we'll have dedicated teams focusing on a backlog of work, prioritizing their efforts on the value they can deliver. Planning is done consistently and continuously. And how we're going to do that is hear feedback from our customers So a course correction can easily be made and actually lets us embrace change, which we absolutely need today. And at the end of the day, this lets us focus our efforts on delivering value to our customers. Now, just to summarize the two different mindsets, when we're talking project, we're talking a specific duration, start and end dates. That short-term team, many times they haven't worked together, so they're still figuring those steps out. They're working on requirements that were done within a business case or months ago. All that planning was done up front. They're not going back and forth hearing the customers, ensuring that their minds have not changed or information has not changed. And going back to that project triangle, what success for project is on time, on scope, on budget. No word of value to the customer there, right? Now, when we move to the product mindset, we're talking about continuously delivering. Teams that work together consistently, we understand how much they can deliver in a time frame. So we're getting better ideas of how long work will take to be delivered. By continuously planning, we're adapting to those ever-changing customer needs, and our pure focus is on customer value. The key elements we're seeing here within that product management transformation, first of which is forming consistent teams. That consistent team lets us deliver faster because they work together and we understand the pace that they can deliver. Next is track value. Often by way, this is done through monthly product reviews, but we're focusing our efforts in making sure the work we're doing is aligned to the value we want to deliver for our organization or our customers. And last of which is by continuously planning. We are making sure that we are working on the highest priorities that a team can deliver and the items that will deliver the most value for them. So from here, I'm going to pass this off to Amel, and she's going to walk through what we're going to show in today's demonstration.
Thank you, Andrew. Hello, everybody. Welcome. Today, I'm going to talk about our demo setup before I hop into the demonstration. And the key focus areas are going to be with executive leader Jake and our product owner, Ria. And Jake Elliott is the executive leader for Acme Bank, who's responsible for all of the enterprise-wide goals that would drive the organization's outcomes. He's established a planning hierarchy that's representative of different levels in which his organization plans. And the hierarchy is set up at the strategic or enterprise level, the business or portfolio level, and the technical or execution level. During his review, Jake is going to be alerted that one of the products within his portfolio is doing poorly in terms of customer satisfaction, especially the mobile banking app product within the consumer digital product portfolio. Users of the app are surveyed to provide feedback randomly when they use the product. Since the score is low, it's putting the target to achieve a high customer satisfaction score at risk. Jake knows that he needs to act fast or else he's going to risk losing his customers. And to make any informed decisions to mitigate the risk, he's going to need full transparency into the business capabilities that are driving value. His challenge, however, is connecting the strategic goals of the enterprise and the portfolio to the actual development work and steering his investments to capitalize on the right products. So to close the gap, he must gain visibility into the portfolio to better understand all of the work and optimize the right investments to maximize throughput of value. And when he does, he expects the product owner, Ria, to shift some of the work planned for the development teams to build new features that will inspire the customers to use the app more and improve their satisfaction in the product. So using ServiceNow's strategic portfolio management solution, Jake can have a connected enterprise in full alignment with strategy, where he's going to feel confident he's funding the right investments that capitalize on the right teams who are accountable for identifying opportunities that are going to deliver the maximum value for customers. So let's hop into the demo. And I'm logged in as Jake, who's my executive leader. And I'm on the Alignment Planner workspace. And on this view, Jake can see the goals as well as the different sub goals created at the various levels. Specifically at the top, at the widget here that you see under Acme Inc. goals, we see the Inspire Customers goal. This is at the enterprise level. And we also see at the sub goal, increase customer satisfaction. So this goal is tied to that parent goal, and we're looking at it at the portfolio view. He's able to drill down into this goal, and he sees that the status is in red. He's able to drill down, and he can see that the mobile banking app customer satisfaction is also in red and driving that risk. He can see and observe the target that's in red, and he's also able to see the actual value is 77%, which is at the low end of the base target value, which is putting that customer satisfaction at risk. If he scrolls down to the right, he can see the work items, 7 of them, that are aligned to the product goal. These items are at the execution level, allowing Jake transparency into the development work that are aligned to the goals. His next move is he's going to gain visibility into all the work planned for all the different products within the portfolio. So still on Alignment Planner workspace, navigating to the roadmap, Jake is going to see all the technology investments on this roadmap. The view here is set up by primary business capability, and the colors that we have are representative of the products. There are metrics in each of these items that show who the owner is, the planned cost, and business capability score. Jake can personalize his view at any time using the personalized setting and group by different fields. The work items that we see in this portfolio are agnostic to the work methodology. So this is going to include demands, epics, and projects. And at the bottom, since projects are not typically associated with a product, they will not have a product association. Having this information available helps influence the strategy and provides Jake with the business context for decision-making. So he observes here on this roadmap that most of the mobile banking app is falling into the deliver services business capability, and he needs to continue to support and drive value for customers to help increase their satisfaction in the product. So what's his next move? He's going to investigate the funding for the business capabilities that are relevant to his business and understand his investments better that are going to provide the most value and delivery of service. Acme Bank has implemented ServiceNow's investment funding, which allows organizations to set up the portfolio guardrails and enable lean portfolio management. They've already created different entities, investment entities, such as business capability, product, and teams. I'll just give that a minute. Using investment funding application, Jake can see the top level investment by business capability record, and he's going to open that up to view all of the fund details. Here on the allocate funds view, he observes 4 widgets at the top, which show him the roll up of all the total funds received, allocated, and available within the fiscal year of 2022 for quarters 1 through 4. Below, he's going to see all the investment entities that make up the entire investment. So he's going to hone in on the deliver services investment and observing all of the different details. So if I scroll here to the right, all of the funding details of all the quarters. His next move is to better understand the direct investments for which the funds are being allocated. At the top right here, I'm going to click this tree view, and that's going to show him all the investment entities displayed as cards in a hierarchical view. So deliver services, he's going to click on that to see those direct investments. And when he does, he sees fund allocation to 3 direct investments, including the mobile banking app product. So here, he's going to further drill into this product investment and quickly notices that the total actuals are greater than the funds received for the product teams. Because the product delivers business capabilities that are relevant to the business, Jake can increase the funding allocated at the top level. For the mobile banking product, any future funds received For capital and operating expenses, they're going to be made available for each of the 3 teams to complete more product features to deliver on customers. Now that the product is funded, the product owner, Ria, works with the Scrum Master to iron out the stories that are in the backlog. So I'm going to impersonate Ria. And Ria is going to use Agile development. She's going to navigate to the Scrum programs in order to see all the stories that are planned by the development teams. So give that a minute to load up. On this program board, she's also going to see the different dependencies for the stories, and you can see on the far right here, the different teams that are aligned to the mobile banking app product, as well as all the stories that are in the sprint. And she notices that there are 2 sprints over the group's capacity, and a story that's dependency is in red, or a couple of them actually. So working with the team, she's going to be able to move some of these stories, typically as working with the Scrum Master within the team, and the flexibility to move these dependency issues on this board. ServiceNow does support any choice of Agile methodology, so Scrum or SAFe. And because it's a single source platform, it's providing a one-stop shop to plan and manage all of the work for different development teams. Integration to other tools are also available. During development, Ria can use a pre-configured performance analytics dashboard. So if I navigate away from the Scrum programs board and dive into this product owner dashboard, it's really going to provide data insights about the product. And she'll see at the top here the different products that we have, and focusing in on the mobile banking app. On this dashboard, she can see the number of features planned, number of stories that are in different phases. She can also view the product teams, who they're aligned to, gain visibility into the execution work, and other relevant information. And again, working with the team, they can send out an automated survey that will go out to the customers and retrieve that information and populate back into ServiceNow. And here she can see that new CSAT score is at 83%. So because of the product teams working with Ria have adjusted to move in the direction of the strategy, Ria can manage the overall product roadmap to measure progress. And so if we navigate back to the Alignment Planner Workspace, APW roadmap, you can see product mobile banking, and she's on the roadmap here. With tracking mode on, she sees the epics that are being worked on as part of the plan to improve the customer satisfaction in the mobile banking product. During delivery, when the stories are complete and the metrics that we see here are propagated back to the epics and shown on the roadmap. So Ria can easily view the status to completion. And if she hovers over one of these items, she can see different metrics as well, which provide full transparency into the execution efforts against the overall strategy. Back on the APW goals, targets are updated automatically using workflows. And she can observe that the updated CSAT score, 83%, and the status is now in green. And so the alignment between the business and technology levels both allow Jake and Ria full transparency into the work to ensure the alignment between the execution and the strategy is happening. And so no matter where you are in the Agile journey, ServiceNow is going to allow you to break out your portfolio and create flexibility when you're considering a rollout approach for the organization. And whether you're trying to manage 100% of the product level or not, ServiceNow's SPM solution really supports the hybrid methodology using project and product management. Overall, organizations are going to achieve business outcomes as leadership is empowered to support products and product-centric investments. Back to you, Andrew.
Thank you, Amel. Let me
You're
grab the
welcome.
screen share back. That was a wonderful demonstration. And what I loved about it was showing the end-to-end life cycle and each of the main components that matter most when we're talking about a project-centric model. Just to highlight that, what we want to show here is why ServiceNow. And we're breaking this down in three main components. Build products faster. As we focused on today's demonstration, we're talking about having the right team associated to the work. We're focusing on the backlog and delivering that work to get the most value there. So we're not, and this kind of covers two ideas, it's not spreading ourselves too thin. And we're focusing on building products and hearing back from our customers, right? And when we talk about delivering products that users love, that's a core competency of the customer centric model, right? We're reflecting back and we're hearing back from our customers, whether they're internal or external to our organization, of their feedback along the process, whether those are monthly product reviews or other means of hearing their feedback. And finally, having teams grouped together as a product, we have an understanding of what we can deliver at a given time. We're managing a backlog and grooming our backlog, moving the items to the highest priority first. So we're focusing our efforts and we're not spreading ourselves too thin. And we understand what our team can take on and what they cannot. Thank you for everyone for joining today's demonstration on product transformation. I'm going to pass it back to Deborah.
Andrew Fortin and Mel Shahayab, thank you both for that great demo and thought-provoking discussion on product management transformation. And I, for one, enjoyed that focus on continuous planning, funding, the flexible Scrum program planning, and product roadmap. We had a little bit of everything. I trust that our audience also found it all very informative. And for more great content like this, please join us for one of our upcoming SPM webinars. Our World of Work webinar focusing on customer-centric Agile product transformation will be taking place on September 8th. And of course, on the last Thursday of every month, we present about a 30-minute webinar on important strategic portfolio management capabilities. Our upcoming last Thursday's webinar, our next one is on Thursday, September 29th, and it will be an overview of the new SPM features included in our Tokyo release. I posted a link to the last Thursday's blog listing all those webinars in the chat. And you can view any of them at SPM Forum, at the SPM Forum at community.servicenow. And again, the link is in the chat. So we do have a couple minutes for Q&A. I saw that there were a couple questions that were unanswered, and we may have one. I'll just read them. Andrew, Amel, if either one of you have a thought on them. The first one is the demo hierarchy is interesting. Could we see that small graphic larger? Maybe we can post that somewhere. And just wondering about sharing any configurations. Aaron, maybe you can touch on that if we share any configurations we've provided here. I know we have some sample ones in the Alignment Planner workspace. Any thoughts on that? And while we're waiting for that answer, that one I'm not so sure about. The next question, here's a question about funding. How do you push the actuals back to the upper layers in investment funding? They're questioning, would it be via timesheeting? If so, on what level would the timesheeting be done?
Yeah, I can help, Deborah.
Thanks,
so just
Emma.
to answer the first question about the configuration, yes, we can add, we can add maybe in the community, the sort of demo setup hierarchy with you as well. And as far as the actuals, pushing an investment, it can be right via timesheeting. It also can be, there's a sort of area that you can enter the total actuals in the investment funding that would push, but also there are integrations we can sort of, it really depends on the organization to sort of level that back in, right? So ServiceNow does have our timesheet capabilities that can help drive some of the actuals up there too.
Awesome.
No, I'll actually add to that as well. So depending on how your organization is structured in, the Agile model, a lot of times we have dedicated teams, right? So those teams are also defined over a period of time. whether it's 10, whether it's 12. So we understand the cost of it at a monthly or bi-weekly for each one of those teams associated to the product. So those can be brought in as actuals, not necessarily knowing that they're tracking time if they're fully dedicated to that product. So that can make the capturing actuals simple if they're more or focused to a product team.
That's a good point, Andrew. Thank you.
Great. Thank you again, Andrew and Amel. I don't see any more questions. And again, I want to thank our audience for spending this time today. I'm sure this topic in particular is one that we're going to be revisiting and hearing more and more about, not only as our audience takes more advantage of project to product transformation, but as we add additional features in our alignment planner workspace and in our own SPM capabilities. So again, thank you all for joining.